John, if we can begin with a bit of personnel situations, I know there was the prospect of maybe a week or two of getting a few back when you were talking last week. Are things still on track? Is Tuesday too soon to see any faces we haven't seen for a while?
Possibly, yeah. I know Faz was on the grass on Friday. He's back on the grass today. Conor O'Brien, long-term injury, he's back on. He's fully training today as well. So that's a positive. And then obviously you're seeing what we had in terms of Paddy coming back on Saturday and stuff. So we'll have to see. Sean Rowley's running really well. So probably obviously a bit too soon all that, but you know, you're probably looking maybe another couple of weeks, sure.
How difficult has it been having a pretty large number ruled out at the same time, not for the long term, but kind of having to be patient with them for that they're a couple of weeks away kind of thing?
It is, it's frustrating, but I think it helps when you get results. I mean, obviously the past two results with Barnet and Walsall haven't gone well. Previous to that, we've had obviously 2 wins with MK Dons and Colchester. So I think you feel it more when you lose games. So we're losing games, we feel it more. But as I said, we've got what we've got. We brought them into the building for the reason. They're good players. We've assembled a good squad. Experience, obviously some young players in there as well. So we're happy with what we've got. We've just got obviously now try and turn it into results, positive ones.
Is there anything better than this competition for giving opportunities and for players grasping opportunities?
Definitely. And you look at Fleetwood. I think Fleetwood was a good performance from the team and certain individuals. Yet you can put it down to we lost the game. We drew the game, but we lost the game on penalties. You got a point and from that. So it's another opportunity again, time to get minutes into lads' legs that need it as well. So it'll be a few changes tomorrow, an opportunity for players to take that.
Not necessarily regardless of the result, but on an individual basis, how much can an individual player put themselves in your thoughts with a good performance in a game like this?
I think they can, because I think if you look at the last game against Fleetwood, in that particular instance, I think we stood by a few of them, you know, and then they played really, really well. So you stand by them, and then the next game after that, which was a poor performance, not just by certain individuals, by the whole team at Cheltenham away. So it wasn't a good performance, far from it. We lost the game 1-0. So lads retain the shirt. So at the end of the day, you know, all the shirts are up for grabs. If people put a performance in that merits them keeping that shirt for Saturday, then so be it. But then they've got to perform on Saturday consistently well, and you've got to get a positive result, and that's what we want. We need positive results. We need to win games of football.
How much is it an opportunity for you to explore options, not just with personnel, but with the way you want to play, with system? I know that's something you did in the opening group game. Is this stage of the competition sort of seen in that way as, not that there's less at risk, but there's perhaps more benefit to trying these things when there's not league points on the table?
You're right, Sam, you're spot on, and that's exactly what it is. One, it's for the minutes for the players' legs. Listen, it's a game of football that the club still want to win. There's still prize money to there. You still want to get through. It's a league basis. It's ideally the only competition that you can get to Wembley, in my opinion. And it's one there you're going to give lads minutes, as I said, and you could look at changing the shape. You could look at putting lads in certain positions as well. To try things going forward for Saturday.
How much does this almost serve as an extension of the training ground then? How much will you perhaps, in the limited time you've had, work on something for a few weeks and then maybe try it in a trophy game?
I think we've done it in pre-season. I think we do try things in training. We do change the shape now and again. We do put personnel in. So it's not unfamiliar for players. So if you put whatever system you put in tomorrow, it's not as if it's brand new to them. So we've done that. We've done that when we put 2 11s against each other on the training ground. One team is a certain shape, like when you play in opposition. So you'll shape up with whatever shape you play to the opposition you're going to play Saturday. So, you know, i.e. on Saturday we played Barnet to a 4-2-3-1, 4-5-1, 4-4-2, whichever way you look up. You're a back four that turned into a back three. So we shape the lads up that way, so we know what's coming and we play against with the ball and so on. So it's not unfamiliar to the lads when we do things like this.
Is it more that we might see plan B, plan C, plan D, rather than plan A in some of these games, though?
Yeah, definitely. Well, you have to, because that's what it's for. And as I said, it's ultimately going back to what it is. It gives lads opportunity to show that they're ready for the first team. And I know most of them are, but really, really take it, and then really, really be consistent in your performance on that night. And then when you get the shirt, take the shirt and do it again when it matters, when we're playing for league points.
As far as the trophy situation is concerned, it's game 2 of 3 games in the group. You took a point from the first game,
yeah.
as you've mentioned. How significant is this second game to sort of setting up your prospects of making it to the knockout?
It is. You want to get through to the knockout, but as I said, it's the squad we've got is a squad that you put out. You've got to give lads minutes. You've got to give them the opportunity. So it's important because you want to get through. There's another 3 points to play for, another 1 point or 2 points. You get an extra point if you win on the penalties, if it goes to that. So you want to win the game. The lads will know that tomorrow. And it is important because I said before, it's one that you want to get through, and it's one that also, where it's an ideal, well, it's realistically, you can get to Wembley.
A win would put you in a very good position to get through with that 1 game remaining. I guess defeat would make it much more difficult to get through, maybe even depending on the other game, impossible. Is it a good thing for players who are perhaps less exposed to league games to have that bit of jeopardy on the game? To it not be, go out there and express yourselves. There is something on it, and the win means something. Yeah,
it's totally different from a league game because straight away there's not that many in the stadium to start off with. So, but the emphasis is still, and the build-up is still like it's a proper game. So they get the feel of it when they go out on the pitch themselves. They'll know that from the dressing. They'll know that from when we train and have been training. They'll know that from the setup. And then when they turn up on the night of the game, the plan, the preparation, everything is no different to a league game. So they'll know that, and then, but it's slightly different feel for when you go out because of the atmosphere, but it's all there for them to take the chance and take the opportunity.
How much is it an opportunity to test yourselves against a team promoted from your division last season and now playing their trade in the division above?
Well, we've done it before. We've done it in the League Cup, so we've played opposition in our league like Oldham. We played Peterborough, who are high league, who we beat Peterborough. We went up against Doncaster in the League Cup. So with a changed team again, if you like, and that they were flying high, Doncaster. I think they probably still are. I haven't looked at their table. Very, very good side, and scored 2 late goals against us, if you like. And the lads give everything on that night. So, we know what it's for. We know it's one where we're playing Port Vale, who are going well in their league at the moment. I think they drew Saturday against Northampton 0-0, and I think before that they beat Barnsley 2-0. So they're a good side. They're always been a good test, a good challenge for us when they've come here and when we've played there. But we've had some good results against them as well.
And we've talked about the selection and the options. Sometimes does this competition come down to who's got the best squad?
It definitely comes down to who's got the best squad, the biggest squad, the squad that's got quality, by the way. So that's the difference. So look, we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves. We know what we've got. We know what we're trying to do, and we'll give it our best shot, and that's as simple as that. And them lads that will be, whoever plays, whichever 11, whichever comes on off the bench, we give it the best shot, and that's all they can do, try the best.
And just in terms of quality, I heard you talking about, after the game on Saturday, the chances you created and then not being able to put them away. Yeah. Just more generally, not just this game, but every game, how much is it being emphasised that they're doing 2/3 of what they need to do correctly, and it's just that last bit?
Spot on that. I mean, I could go back. I'm not going too far back, so I'll go back to Walsall. So you scored 2 goals in the first half. It's a totally different game. We didn't, so we need to take the chances. But the lads don't mean to miss the chances. We're creating the chances individually, whether it's Isaac setting someone up, or whether it's Charlie on the opposite side, whoever that may be, whether it's someone feeding the ball through. Like we scored an unbelievable goal at MK Dons with Tyler passing the ball after Josh Woods made a good setup to him, and then Isaac Sinclair runs through. So whichever way that is, you've got to take the chances. We have in the previous games, in terms of what I spoke on MK and Colchester, 2 really good performances and taking your chances. And then we don't take our chance in the first half against Walsall, but you still got to defend. I said that Saturday. So, you can't get mixed up with when I say, well, if you're not going to win the game, don't lose it. I analysed that at the end of the game. So the end of the game is we can say we don't take our chances, but keep the ball out the back of the net. So that's down to not just the defenders, a back 4, back 5, back 6 with the keeper, whatever you want to say. It's the whole team. So defend the situation, whatever that is on the pitch, whether it's pressing from the front, making a tackle or pressing or stopping someone from midfield, stopping a cross coming in your box and defending your box. So Seamus Keneally for the first goal on Saturday, with his attitude, desire, he wanted to stop a cross on Saturday, and unfortunately the deflection with him trying to do that falls to the lads. So you can call it being unlucky, but someone needs to mark the lads in the box, which we've spoke about anyway. So we know, and the lad finishes it, so we know, and then the second goal comes down to, again, we don't finish our chances that we create, but they get an exact similar chance. And if you look at the goal, initially the second goal, it's from a throw-in which we defend, and we kick the ball sort of middle of midfield, if you like, and it hits the lad and falls for their lad. So again, you could say it's a bit lucky there, but then we've got a 2v2 in the wide areas or a 3v3 in the wide areas, which you got done in a given goal, but the lads finished this chance similar to the chances that we've had. So we don't mean to miss them. The keeper will make a save, or we put it over the back, whatever that is, but we're making the chances. So they've took theirs Saturday, we didn't, and we have to take our chances.
And just lastly on this quality thing, final third thing, how do you replicate that? I'm reminded of, we talk in major tournaments about penalty shootouts, and England managers saying you can't replicate the pressure. When it's a one-on-one or a snapshot finish or whatever, how do you actually get players in the mindset where they've done that 1,000 times and it just comes as second nature?
But they have done. So you do it hundreds of times, 1,000 times on a training field. So they've got to do it on a match day.
But is it the same? You talked about the atmosphere.
No, but it's not though. It's what you just touched on that as well. I said that before, so we agree on that. It's a totally different thing when you're playing live, when you're playing in front of whether it's 2,500, 5,000, 55,000. You've still got that quality to do it. And that's why there's leagues, and that's why there's the Premiership, the Championship, League 1 and League 2. So you don't go, oh, they can't do it. Your job as a coach is to go, right, okay, you've missed them Saturday, let's go again, let's put you in the same situation, let's see. And then, oh and behold, we score goals, and you go, why didn't you do that Saturday? So let's see if you can do it in the next game. So the next game is an opportunity, which is whether it's the AFL, the Cup, or it's in the league. The lads have to take the chances. But in terms of your point, is that you do it day to day, every day on the training ground, and the lads have to do it, but they have to do it when it's important and when it matters most.
And how much bravery does it take to keep putting yourself in that position?
It is the bravery to say, okay, so the frustrations of, does the keeper, does the back four, does the midfield get frustrated because either the forward line aren't scoring the goals, the midfield runners aren't taking the chances? So do they get that more frustrated that they stop doing their job? So as a team, try and keep the ball out the back of the net, but just keep persevering, keep going, and hopefully your chances go in. Like I touched on where our chances went against MK Dons, chance winning against Colchester, really didn't in the first half against Walsall, didn't on Saturday against Barnet. And if you put your chances away, then we're sitting here into a different conversation with them.